Hi everyone, I'm Law of the West, and in this video I want to talk about the new changes that they're planning on making to the Redeemer. To summarize what's going on, they're taking its 2 large shields and replacing them with 6 medium-sized shields. And they're also going to be taking both of its man turrets and reducing their weapons down 1 full hardpoint size each. So they'll go from having 2 size 5 to having 2 size 4 weapon hardpoints. So it's losing 82% of its shields and it's getting a 66% reduction to its total DPS. But to give them credit, in response they're going to increase its handling. But they didn't say how much they plan on increasing it by. And just to remind you, the Redeemer currently flies like it has all the grace and style of a hippo ballerina that just chugged a handful of Xanax. But how fast could they really end up making it? The whole point of master modes was to slow everything down. And they have limits as to how fast they could make the Redeemer before it starts to interfere with what they've already established. So it seems like they took a lot away from this ship, and they don't really seem to have the capacity to give much back in return to compensate for it. I think that a lot of these nerfs have to do with the Redeemer being one of the few ships that benefited from master modes. And slowing everything down really helped to close the gap that existed between it and a lot of the other faster ships. Another major thing that I have to take into account is that CIG is going to be giving all of their components a full overhaul, and we don't know what those changes are yet, at least I didn't at the time this video was made. So these nerfs might make a lot more sense after they let us know what those changes are going to be. But what I was really hoping for was for them to give me a reason to want to use the Redeemer instead of having everyone fly their own ship. Because right now it makes a lot more sense for everyone just to go fly solo. And it doesn't seem to matter how fast they end up making the Redeemer, because that's not going to change anything. Now think about it. Instead of manning a turret that has twin size 4 guns, they could fly a Connie. And even though they'd be running it as a solo pilot, they'd still have access to 4 size 5 guns, missiles, its own storage, and the ability to carry a medevac. And the Corsair has even more pilot-controlled weapons than that. And so far, the only solution I could come up with to fix this would be to allow us to automate some of the Redeemer's weapons. Like for instance, if they turned the rear turret into a point defense system, that would at least eliminate one problem right there. And they could go back on something that they previously said they wouldn't do, which would be to let the pilot control the 2-man turrets using a blade. I believe the previous restriction was if you did that, then they'd only be able to fire forward, but I'm good with that. I personally really like the Redeemer and I don't want to give up on it. But what about you? What do you think about all these changes? Do you think they might have gone a little overboard with the nerfs? Is there any way do you think that they could save it? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Well, that's going to be it for this look at the changes that they've done to the Redeemer. I've been your host, Law of the West, and thanks for watching.